ದಿನ 21 ಸಂಜೆ 7:30 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
Hello all, as tickle pink as I am about today's interview, we have with us Mr. Badekkila Pradeep, a freelance journalist and an impeccable voice artist who's exponentially known as the voice of Bigg Boss. I deem it my pleasure to have gotten the opportunity to interview, sir. Thank you for obliging to do it.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
So, tell me, sir, what exhorted you to become a voice artist, and did you always have the penchant for it?
No. I had no idea what this field was. All I wanted to be was a media person. I just wanted to be doing something in media. And especially when I began as a journalist or a media person after my graduation in journalism, the time was such that, people were not as much aware about these kind of fields or the diversity of the kind of fields are there in media as we are today. So even though I had done my journalism, I was not aware of the kind of possibilities that it had. All I knew was, okay, I wanted to be a reporter or maybe an anchor or actor or something of that sort. So thankfully I could become all that. In the meantime, it so happened that my first full-time job was a reporter / anchor with the very, very famous TV news channel in Kannada, which is still number one. I mean, from the day it launched, called TV9 Kannada. So I got a chance to be a part of the channel. So when they launched, they got the first ad, for the channel.
Right.
So they came to me, of all the other people who are there, who are experienced in this field, to do the sponsor tag for the ads that the channel got. Like, this program is sponsored by. So, but I did that in Kannada. So I recorded that and gave it to them, and they started using that. I thought they will use it for a couple of days or months, and then they'll replace it with someone else's voice. And that didn't happen. So they kept using the same thing, and then maybe slowly I started realizing
It became a turning point in your life.
Yeah. So maybe I started realizing I think I have a good voice. So that's where I started focusing on that. So it was like not self-induced. So it became, I became aware of that because of this incident that happened in my life. For a matter of fact, the channel is still number one, and the channel still uses that sponsor tag. Even today at 2025.
Perhaps they didn't get anyone to emulate your voice.
I don't know that, but I don't know that. I'm sure there are much more talented people, in Karnataka. That is, different. But see, I always say, since we are talking about that, see, the talent is, available in abundance. It's not about the talent. I always keep mentioning that. It's all about being at the right place at the right time. So I was lucky that I was there at the right place, I think. And also we need to have the commitment and professionalism. That's the second part. But here I was at the right place.
So how has your journey been from being a TV journalist to a freelance journalist and now a voice artist? So were there any curveballs in the way?
Well, there have been many, so no doubt about that. But I think every time I had such situations, yes, I had to go through a lot of tough times, but I have come out much more stronger, and luckily I could get more stronger and get more opportunities in different fields. So I was not only a reporter or a journalist, and then I was not just a media personality in that sense. I also got into acting, anchoring, modeling, and I also have a flair for a little bit of writing and
Oh, lovely.
yeah, so all that. So
Oh,
it's
we can assimilate on that level then.
yeah, maybe yeah, but I more lean towards Kannada writing. I mean, I do write in English, but yeah, since I have a Kannada medium background.
Is there anything you can't do?
Yeah, so what I can't do is I can't stop you know thinking about things that, like, that I want to do, and the moment I start thinking about something that I want to do, I want to get at it, and I want to keep doing that. So it's, I
Just
think,
wait through.
huh? Yeah, so I think that's what's required for anybody who, especially who wants to do something in media, because some media, like the way you said, the right, uh, right word you use, curveballs. So, like, it keeps throwing not just curveballs, like
Lemons.
literally stones at you. So I mean, I also went through a lot of tough times. Like, I was put in situations where I was made to do things which I was not comfortable. So, like, I was put in crime beat, which I was not comfortable in.
Hmm.
So I had to somehow get out of that. But yeah, that got me out of that field. But I got into another field where I became a promo chief in an entertainment channel in Kannada, where I also got into voiceovers. That's where the actual change started. Even though I was doing voiceovers for various TV, various ads or documentaries earlier, that was the first time I was the voice of a TV channel. So I
That
not
pushed you.
yeah. So I've not looked back ever since. So it's been 16 plus years ever since. So yeah, so that was Suvarna, Star Suvarna,
Hmm.
for about 1.5 years, and then 1 year in Z Kannada, and then now with Colors Kannada for over 13 years. So yeah, so it's going on.
So, how paramount is voice modulation when it comes to finessing a cadence for a particular character?
Well, since I am, see, I do voiceovers as well as I dub for characters.
Hmm.
So people who want to be a voice artist, first of all, they need to have a good control over their language, something that people don't realize. So the moment they think that they have a good voice, they say that, oh, I have a good voice. I want to be a voice artist. I feel like the way I told you about talent. So there is talent in abundance. So there are people with good voice, but only those with good finesse. I mean, in terms of their language and grammar, and also the way they can control their voice according to the situation. So that comes with practice. So I may or may not have had a good, voice or language to begin with, but I practiced. So I used to make a lot of mistakes when I started off, even in Kannada. So English to chodo, because I still struggle, because that's my third or fourth language. So I still consider that, okay, I am still a student of language, still a student of voiceovers. So I still learn. So that attitude should be there. So if that is there, we can always get a chance to be better by the day and get new chances.
Can one's voice become a strength and a weakness when it comes to maneuvering a career in this particular field?
See, voice in becoming a voice artist is one of the criteria. So that's what I told in the previous set of information that I was trying to convey. So that being said, there are a lot of other aspects that's very important for voice artists, like the way I said, like the language, the way they can have a hold, and also to be able to um, have a good control of or good connect with people who are in the know of the of the projects and all that, so that you can also keep getting projects. That's also important, because that's the second part that always uh, people ask me when they say that, okay, I want to be a voice artist. Like,
So you don't get the knack for it in the first go.
see there are people who are like natural, so they like they have it naturally built in. And even though even if they have it, if you have that practice, that will give it more polish, and it'll make it even more better. But the more you practice, see, that is one side of it. But for those who don't have any finesse or as such anything as such, the more they practice, the more they work towards it, so they'll become better in that. But see, that's what I'm saying. People come to me and ask me, so I want to build a career in voiceovers. I tell them, don't look at becoming only a voice artist, or don't look at becoming only a writer, so to say. Uh, if you want to survive in media, try to become, try to, inculcate as many skills as you can, so that, it can help you survive in the industry. Because you don't know until you enter there, like the way it happened in my case.
Yeah, it is
Until
a
I enter
multifaceted.
there,
Yeah.
I entered there, I just wanted to be probably a reporter or an anchor, but that gave me some other opportunity. But if I were to be just a reporter, I would be one among thousands of reporters out there. But God has been kind. So, I got all the recognition, maybe because I got into this field. So keep an open mind, and, develop various skills on the go. And these are all skills which are like, which are helpful, and they help each other, like they and interdependent, so to say, because voiceover is dependent on the script. So if you have a bad script, if you're a voice artist, and if you have a bad script with you, if you have the control over writing, you can correct the script in such a way that tomorrow your client will say that, okay, I will go to this artist, or I'll go to Pradeep, because if I go there, I don't have to worry about the script also. He'll make sure, either he will tell me that the script is not right, get it corrected. Otherwise, I will correct it and give it to you. Because that's the kind of output that you can give them as a package. That's the kind of um, you know personality that you will develop to be or become in the future. And so that's kind of skill set that we have to aim to build in ourselves. Or even if you want to be an anchor, or uh, uh, a reporter. So there are some reporters, or who want to just go to the field, just hold a mic and speak, who don't know to write. So I've seen these kind of characters in the field. They can't write, so they just come and dictate to others. But they're amazing. They're really good at field reporting. But unfortunately, no. I mean, for various factors, they cannot write. But if you keep practicing, so if it will become a better thing for you tomorrow. I mean, I'm not saying not everyone is capable of doing that, but it's always a good idea to have multiple skills handy.
As we know, in this epoch, we are accustomed to watching dubbed regional movies. And back in the day, particularly in Kannada industry, dubbing was reprimanded, right? It was not in the dictionary. So do you think the audience now, they've accepted it?
Well, dubbing per se was kind of banned in Kannada, but it was not banned officially, but there was an unofficial ban till recently. So finally, we have dubbed movies, dubbed OTT shows, and all sorts of dubbed content coming to Kannada. People have accepted that to a certain extent, and I'm speaking from an audience's point of view, but also on the other hand, since Kannadigas have always had have always consumed that content in that particular language, since it was not available in Kannada. So they've gotten used to that. So the kind of change will probably take more time. For the transition might take more time, but that doesn't mean that people are not consuming, but they are not consuming it in the amount that probably people are expecting them to, because they are accustomed to watching it probably in Tamil or Telugu or Hindi or English, because that has become a habit. It's all about the habit. But those who are like who don't follow those languages at all, so they are getting good new content in the language of their choice, like that is Kannada. So all this happened mainly because it's all about the consumer. It's like we are giving what the consumer wants. So that's how the court ruling and everything came, and that's how the dubbed content finally came to Kannada. So today or tomorrow, people will get accept it in a bigger way, like in a nice way, but it will definitely take time. It will not be like how it is in the other languages, because the environment here is much more different than that.
Thank you for giving an insight on that. This interview would logically not be complete if I don't ask you how your journey in Bigg Boss has been. And could you also intone a dialogue for us as the narrator of Bigg Boss?
Yeah, that has been a constant anywhere I go. Yes, it's been like really a pleasurable journey, it's like 11 seasons. I've done 10 out of 11 seasons, except for the second season. I've done the narrator's voice for Bigg Boss. I've been fortunate enough to do that. And the journey has been like, great, because first of all, we didn't have any expectation that people will love the show so much when the show began 10, 11 years ago, and now here we are. So like after the success of the Hindi show, Kannada was the first regional language show that was launched, and it gave everyone the confidence that they can also do it in other regional languages. And I am so fortunate that I have been a constant part of it. So, and yeah, and as a narrator, I have been telling ದಿನ 21 ಸಂಜೆ 7:30 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ.
I'm quite boggled right now. On that riveting note, I wish you the best in all your future endeavors. And thank you for obliging to do this interview.
Anytime. Thank you so much.